Hello FlossTube, my name is Tamara. Welcome to my channel Tamara Cross Stitch. And in such a beautiful autumn background, I wanted to show you what I have been stitching recently, what I have been finishing. I mean, like, which are my cross stitch results, achievements so far. In the last video, after finishing the Mill Hill Nutty Squirrels design, I mean, like, it was finished in the pin cushion, like this pin cushion, I said that I would like to start the next Mill Hill design, so that I would have a Mill Hill design in process, how they say. I would stitch it all the time, because I have Mill Hills this autumn, and I said that I'm going to start Harvest Trio, and I did. Actually, I did, but I haven't stitched so much because I didn't have time for it. So I started with this bird. This is the biggest bird, the one which is at the base. Why this bird? Because I have the piece of band linen already purchased from a long time ago, and I was thinking how to do it so that it would be okay to place the design nicely, and I didn't know how much I should leave, like in this part, on the top part. That's why I just counted where is the center of this fabric, and I started with the center, and the center was actually this bird. It was kind of here, if I'm not wrong. It was the center. And as usually, I'm stitching first everything which is with threads, then I'm going to add the beads. I think there isn't any back stitch here. Not sure, but I think there isn't any backstitch in this design. So yeah, not a big design, but I haven't stitched it a lot. I think that I'll just give time to this design, and I'll just stitch it very well. So this would be the beginning, the new project which I started. And one more project I've been working on. This is the Autumn Farm by Busila. How to show you it to you? So this one. So I made a progress on this one. So since last time I showed you, I was here. So I continued stitching these two trees, the house, so everything around the house, even this these leaves. And I also made a great deal because I backstitched everything what has been stitched so far. I would say almost everything, because there are some details which I'm going to finish in the end. So this is how it looks when it's already backstitched. Not a lot of backstitch, but in the same time not little. I'm sorry, I'm filming with like holding the phone in my hand, because I still put this one on a frame, as I said. You see, it's on a frame, so it's easier for me to stitch like this. So I made the long stitch. I like the design very much, and I like working on it, stitching it also very much. It's kind of comfortable, cozy design. I don't know how to call it, but it's extremely nice. It's extremely nice. And the leaves which had connection with something I hadn't backstitched, because I'm going to backstitch them when they'll have the elements which are next to them. And I remember telling you that I'm going to like stitch this, so the things you see, and also this arch of leaves, which is the upper part of the design. I haven't managed to do this one. That's why the next move is going to be like stitching the arch and back, making the back stitch as well, because it will take its back stitches made of leaves, and here it's a lot of back stitch. And I'll do this one, and then when I'll finish with the arch of leaves, this is going to be the upper part of the design. I'm going to go to the like front part or down part, which is the stone fence, and then what is in front here. I hope it's going to be quick, although I don't want this design to be quick, you know. It's like I'm enjoying it so much, so much. Nice one, you know. There are such old vintage designs which never stop being charming. They're always beautiful. So I kind of reached the lateral sides of the design. I have to do the up and down, and I'll reach all the sides of the design. Beautiful and nice to stitch this one. And I'm still trying to put together Scream House by Nan. Just wanted to show you some stages, like in between the cooking of the projects. Yes, because I was asked to show at least some of the stages. It's not easy, this finishing. No, let me say like this. It's not quick. So what can I tell you for sure is that it's not quick. I haven't seen this one in a video. If you know, if there is a video where this project is shown, please tell me, and I will go to that video, to that blogger, and I will watch it. The reason this project is not shown so much, at least I found two. One can be the fact that it was a limited edition and it was released years ago, and it's a rare find. That's why not so many are stitching it. Or maybe the ones who have it don't want to stitch it because it seems complicated, something like this. Okay, so last time what I showed you, it was the stitched part. Everything was stitched. After I finished stitching, I cut, like on this tin roof linen, I cut every piece with like the piece which has to be like inside, all of them, the 4 of them. Then I cut the purple, Peoria purple linen, and again I like folded them inside, put together the 2 parts, and like the biscornu stitch was done on all the perimeter, so that I would have from 8 like parts, I would have only 4. So these are the awls. Here I cut a piece of Weeks That Works wool, and I finished the hat, the witch hat. This one still stays my favorite. Just a second, so I already showed you when these ones were stitched. So I didn't have to do anything here, as long as it was stitched and the embellishments attached. I didn't have to do anything except the fact of putting it back, putting it together. Sorry, this one on the Peoria purple wall still stays my favorite one, Nettie, the witch. And in the instructions they were telling which one goes with which one, so it wasn't me deciding. Even if you can decide, I think it's your design, you decide. The ghost and this one, and here I had to make a cording, insert this cording, and like a cord, and this cord would have helped me to attach a pair of scissors. The thing is, I measured all the scissors I had, so these ones, like the Kelmsco design, the designs, they are black. I measured, I have another one, like witch's boots, and my Giulietta scissors, which I thought they are smaller, but apparently they are not so small. Okay, the thing is that all the scissors, they come like exactly the same thing. They are pretty heavy, at least a little bit heavy, you know, and I would have needed to do for each of them kind of, how it's called, a cover, so that you would insert them here so that they wouldn't harm the design. And I was thinking, do I really need these scissors here? Because this house is not going to be how do I say, an organizer. This one is going to be a display for Christmas, a autumn display, alongside with my other Nan things. Autumn finishes, I mean like Halloween finishes. And I was thinking, what can I do here in order to change? So I was And I decided that let me look into the box with the charms and the other things I have. And I was looking at the charms, but I found some paillettes, how they are called correctly in English. They are ghosts and they are pumpkins. And I attached them using, so for their eyes, I used the two petite black petite mill hills, petite like the tiny beads. And I kind of made a wall of ghosts and pumpkins, as long as I thought that this is going to be a decoration. So far, I am happy with this thing because I don't want a pair of scissors there. Totally, I don't want them. Okay, so in such a way, I finished the walls. Then I did the bottom. So this is the outside part. On the inside part, I sticked a magnet and the what's it called? The glue. the glue dried, but still there is this thing. It's not a problem because I'm going to put the pumpkin stack here. The thing is that in the instructions they were recommending to, after making the pumpkin stack, to use glue to attach them to here. But I thought, what if I'm going to put in the lower pumpkin also a magnet, and I'm going to magnet the stack here, because the stack is not going to be heavy. They are wool and like the filling, which is going to be inside. I'll see how good this one is going to be. And by the way, inside the walls, I used cardboard, very thin cardboard. I mean, like not thick. The thing is that in the instructions they didn't say skirtix. It was advised to be used. I used the thing I'm using for my Just Nan finishes when I want them to be stiffer, but it wasn't enough. You see, they are pretty big, then they are pretty tall, and they were like wobbly. I don't know, I wasn't feeling okay because I know that they have to stay like this. I have to open them, so I wanted them more stable than they were. That's why I inserted here a piece of cardboard. I'll see when I'm going to put everything together if this thing is not going to make to be problematic. I don't know, I'll see. But here I didn't use cardboard here because I already felt that it has enough, you know, like, and this one is smaller. Then the roof, I put together the 3 parts of the roof except one because I left it before, like, sewing it together to show you what I did inside. So this is how it looks like. I don't have cardboard here either because the surface is smaller and it doesn't need it's already stable, you see. And I left the last one before assembling it so that you could see what I have inside, the secret. So I used this kind of thing. I showed you in the assembling the cube what this is, and which I'm using usually for, I don't know how it's called, for Just Nan finishes. And I told you that I was feeling a bit worried about using glue, because this when you are folding these parts you are supposed to use glue. I didn't use glue. I found another solution. I used this kind of I don't know how it's called, but this one you would put between 2 fabrics, you see. You don't put it like, because the iron is melting it if you are using iron, so you obligatorily have to use between 2 pieces of fabric and it will glue them together. So I cut this one because I have it like in this way. I cut this one in stripes, you know, like small stripes, 1 centimeter stripes, and I used to cut like these pieces, like this stripe in small pieces, and I put like between these ones using the iron, and I kind of glued them but without glue. I'm okay with the result. I'm more than okay, but using it for how many? 16, 18, for 18 parts, it was consuming me. Honestly, it was consuming me, but I'm happy with the result. And the wire, by the way, the wires are long because I was not sure which length I need. In the instructions, they were in the kit, in Pamela's final touches, and they were just telling, for example, like bend here half an inch and glue it. Again, this one should be glued, and fix it with thread. and I just took a larger part because I can cut them anytime, you know, here, but if I'm going to put this one together, I won't get inside here to like do anything. I didn't glue this one. I only sewed it, attached it with YLI thread, and it's very well attached. Again, no glue was needed. And then I'm going just putting this one like this. There is this corner stitch on the both sides, and I am stitching. It's not an easy thing, by the way. It goes slowly. It goes like you have to be careful on the edges, on the corners. You have to like reinforce it, because this is what is said in the it is said in the instructions as well, that if you need, you have to reinforce it. For example, here where there is a lot of fabric, it says in the, I just noticed in the instructions when I was reading, but I was doing it by myself. You can take the scissors and you can tuck, you see, you can tuck like the extra thread inside, because it goes very well, and you can align the stitches here and you can stitch easier. And apparently I made a mistake, at least this is how I understood that I made a mistake. In the instruction says that they should be put together here with purl number 5. I didn't look in the instructions because logically I thought that if I made the biscornu stitch with purl number 12, of course I have to put them together with purl number 12. When I like read that one, I said, but this one is very thick. Really, this one number 5 is thick. And it would have been very difficult. Okay, it would have covered here better. They would have looked like nicer. Even if I'm okay of how they look here, I'm not like disappointed, but this one would have been thick. So I'm happy with the mistake I made. I think it's not a grand mistake. And I also glued the cabochon here, and I made the button, kind of. What I have to do next, I have, of course, like to finish this one, and this one, it has to be put together kind of like this, you see. I have to see exactly which goes where, because each of them has its own place, like this, and like this. And for each of them I have already to put the part of the roof it requires, something like this, and so on and so forth. The thing is, what I have to attach here is attaching these parts, these 4 parts, and to each of them attaching the roof, you see, because when it's going to close, it's going to close like this. I don't know how this one is going to work, because the biscornu stitch was already used here. I have to attach the stitches which are existing. I mean, like, you see, this existing stitches and this existing stitches. I hope it's going to be okay. I really, really hope. And I have to make a cord. I still have to make a cord, because there is a cord which will come around the house, because when you are putting it together it won't stay. And yes, and the pumpkin stack from and the leaves and everything from this all. Yeah, so I kind of see the light in the end of the tunnel, kind of see it, but still it's not the light itself, because still there is work to be done. Yeah, I hope it was useful for you, at least some of my, I don't know, some of my words about the experience I have here, and I hope that I will finally finish it and show it to you finished. And I would say the finish of the month, yes, finally, I finished like putting together and having the final product of Scream House by Nan. And yes, I would complain again and say that this is one of the designs which take a long time to finish, because I finished it in 4 days. Of course, not like all day long, not from morning until evening, only when I had the time for myself, and not all the time I did the other things. It's just I took time, slowly, nicely, because it was tiring when I was putting it together, doing the biscornu stitch on so many parts. But today is the 4th day and I finished it, and I'm super happy, and I was like in the mood of filming. Okay, so I I stitched this one from scratch, as I used to say, because unfortunately this one is out of print. This was a special, how they say, a limited edition for a commission, yes, for, I don't know if it was a commission, but it was a design dedicated to silver needle. And when the design is dedicated to silver needle, the shop silver needle you can find only in that shop. It was released in 2008, as far as I saw on the chart, and unfortunately now it's very limited and very rare, and unfortunately it's pretty pricey to buy it. As a person who loves stitching and finishing very much Just Nan designs, I try to do my best to do this one from scratches. I analyzed a lot of pictures, photos, I mean, because I couldn't find any videos where it was this one put together, but nevertheless I think I did it. So I showed you the stitching, just I'm showing to you like this, because this is how it looks when it's together, because the parts, all of the parts you already saw. And by the way, I still think that this button is too big here, but I did it myself. I made it myself. This is what I could find. And if I would compare the way of like getting together the roof like with a ribbon, as I did in the previous two houses which I finished, I like more the ribbon thing than the this one, because this one doesn't stay here like all together. Maybe I didn't do it like perfectly correctly, but I tried. And in a second I will see the effect of how it looks like when it's open. And this is how it looks when it's open. The real magic of this design is when it is open, because you see the thing that it has two sides, and it has like the color of the linen and the stitching that it comes on both sides. This is a very beautiful, a very nice effect, I would say. I put it like this. And so since last time I saw you, I presented it to you. So I had almost all the pieces put together, and yes, that was the most difficult thing to be done, because when you sew together these parts, it's not so difficult. They are telling you in the instructions in detail how to do it. English is not my first language, that's why there were a couple of moments when I didn't understand perfectly what was said there, but I did my best to finish this design. What I understood for sure is that when you're putting together these parts, I mean, like, first of all, you attach the roof, then you attach the wall with the roof to the base. You have to do it from the purple linen, so from the side of the purple linen, and this is important because when you close and open it, I did it like as it was said there. And it didn't take a lot of time. You need a sharp needle, not a blunt one, the one you're using in cross stitch. Be careful. And by the way, a tip. I finished, or I worked at the finishing of this design, I said 4 days, but I did it only during the daytime, and my good luck it was that they were sunny days. Yes, we don't have a lot of them here in UK, but they were sunny, bright days, and in my case, nothing helps as the daylight. Yes, I have lamps. Yes, I stitch early morning, sometimes in the evening on using a lamp, but the daylight is the best for me in such things, and I don't get tired if I do it like in daylight. And when I just attached, it's important to read and to see the border, because they say which goes with which. I like looked at the border, I attached it, and it came time for this pumpkin stack from wool felt. Yes, and I didn't know what to expect from this one. Okay, I wouldn't say it was mega difficult, but I wouldn't say it was going okay from the first time. This one, the base pumpkin, I did it twice because, and still I'm not happy how it turned. But honestly, after the second time when I saw that I cannot do it like nicely, I said let it be like this one. The this one, the orange one, I think it's nicer. I used the thread I had like left from here, and I went like twice here like this. They are like connected with a thread together. And as I was telling you here, when I was reading more carefully, as far as I understood, I had to cut a circle from the felt, from wool felt, and make a base, and then the part which I didn't understand, either I had to glue or to sew them very carefully to that wool felt. I didn't understand that part, but as I said, I already had a magnet here because I have a bit of stain from the glue, and I used the magnet in this one, in the like base pumpkin, and you see, like my pumpkin, they are on magnets, very strong magnets, both of them, and I'm okay. I'm very okay with it. And this one, it's kind of funny. And by the way, for this one, to make it like this, I was not sure that I'll be able to make just with the thread and the felt. I used this kind of thing, a piece of this one, and I made it like curled, and I frosted the rest of it inside the pumpkin so that it would have connection, and then connected it with the thread, so sew it with the thread. And the leaves, the green leaves, were the only ones which I used glue here because it was said in the instructions, and I could use thread and attach them with thread, but honestly I didn't have any more patience for this, and I said, okay, this is it. Yeah, and it's not perfect, but it's my pumpkin stack, and I'm happy with it. So yes, finally I did it. By the way, I brought here the last year's, I think it was Alvira's, yes, last year, because last year I was planning to do this one. I started getting materials last year, and when this one came out, I said, okay, I'm going to stitch the newly released one, and I stitched it. And I wanted to show you. You see, this is the last year's design, and this is the Scream House. I'm not going to be able to put it together like this, but look, the outside, it's almost the same, you see, because it's reused the same tin roof linen, the same motifs for the roof, the same colors for the walls, more or less it's the same. You see, where is the, okay, the door here, you see. So in case you want to make yourself a Halloween house, because these are the only Halloween houses from Just Nan she has, you may want to make yourself a house and you are not sure, or you are afraid of putting them together, I would strongly advise you to start with that one, because that one is easier. Yes, it's a lot of stitching, but it's easy in the plan of putting it together. This one asks for experience, so when you get experience with that one, you can do this one. And yes, I did it. You cannot imagine how happy I am. This one was like, but it's beautiful, it's very nice. And till the end, the magic or the beauty of this one is because it comes with like this, you're opening, and it has like this beautiful purple inside. And in the end of the video, I would like to show you something which is kind of taken from my dark box. No, I'm kidding. No, there is a thing that I was like, as usual, I'm cleaning a lot my cross stitch cupboard boxes, but all the time there is a mess. At least I think so, because there are moments when I'm looking for something and I still cannot find that something, and it drives me so crazy because I'm telling myself I am cleaning all the time, I'm trying to put all the time the things kind of organized, but nevertheless there is something which I cannot find, or I cannot remember where I put it. Okay, so what happened? In one of my next searches, I found some designs which are to be finished by me, so not to be taken to the studio and framed professionally. From those designs, I picked up the designs which are connected to Halloween and autumn, because it's the season, and I thought, why not trying to revive and to repair what is to be repaired in these designs, because it's a pity that that they are not like being displayed, because I spent time, I spent money, and they are not displayed. Okay, so which designs I have? I have such a beautiful Halloween house. It's a Stony Creek design. It has been stitched a few years ago, I think 5 at least, even 6 maybe. Okay, and the thing is that when I finished stitching it, I framed it in a frame which I purchased, but I purchased because I couldn't find anything appropriate, but didn't like the frame at the time, and I disliked it even more throughout the time. So I displayed it the first 2 years after finishing it. Then I wasn't displaying it because I didn't like the frame, and then I took it out of the frame, and it was like staying like unframed for a couple of years. And now when I took it, I just noticed that the spider here, a thread, is going away. I don't know if you see, it's not a big deal, but I have to repair it. For that, I'm going to repair it, and I'm going to look for a frame which I will like this time. And I didn't like also as well the size of the frame. You see, it was kind of a big frame, I would say. I don't know how to say it. Okay, the thing is that I found such a frame. It's gray. I would have preferred a dark one, a black one, but such a size I didn't find. But the size was, I wouldn't say perfect, but very good for this one, because I want to finish it like vertically. I don't know how to show it. I like filming in this position, but when there are certain things which I cannot finish. You see, when I'm going to position it like this, I won't have a lot of space here, and the space is going to be up, but up it's okay because it's the sky, and it's going to look okay. So yes, I was thinking like finishing it here. I have to repair the spider. I have to deal with that loose thread and like finish it like this. So this is a thing which I hope I'm going to deal with this autumn. Then the next one, I don't know how to show it to you. This one is already here in a frame. So this is a frame I purchased for Lucky, the cat I have to stitch. It's a 6 by 8 inches frame. And when I was like pulling out the designs, I found this one. This is just another button design. The one which they say that you are buying just the button and the chart is a bonus, something like this. It was stitched again, I think 5 years ago. I'm not sure, with the called by the key which that works the threads. Nice one, but at the time I was unexperienced and I finished it in a pin keep, and the pin keep it was ugly, so ugly that I destroyed it a few years ago. But the thing is that I was so inexperienced that I used the glue, not the fabric glue, a very bad glue. They have like drops of glue here. That's why I thought that I'm not going to finish it in pin keep anymore. I'm going to put it in a frame. And I tried the frame which I already purchased for Lucky. It proved to be okay, and I said yes, this is going to be the frame. The glue drops which are here in the back, they won't make any harm because they are going to be on the back I mean like here on the back, they won't be in the front. And one more thing I want to do here, her hair is stitched, the cross stitches of her hair, they are stitched with such a thread, fuzzy stuff. I still have it since then, I haven't used for anything else. And I saw on Instagram when a stitcher stitched this design, and she made her hair, not just the cross stitches as I made, but she made French knots, something like this, and her hair is covering the, how would I say, because if you can see here, the button, the face button is kind of getting out, and it's very clear that it's a button. But when you make the thread like more tangled, the button is kind of goes deep into those French knots. So I want to try to remake her hair with this one, and then I will try to like finish her in this frame. Yes, I remember that the frame of the window, the white one, it's stitched with glow in the dark threads. I remember the moon, I chose, I think, a thread which it's not always that works, if I'm not sure. I remember that some things I changed because I thought it's going to be nice. So yes, this one also I want to change it. Okay, then I have such, this was a pin cushion for you know, like there is the wooden thing you are putting it. Design is taken from the Just Cross Stitch magazine, I don't know of which year, it was the autumn issue. And it was a Halloween alphabet, and the letter T came with this witch, and I found it cute, and I stitched it. It's a Wix That Works pumpkin linen, if I'm not wrong. I bought in that time for the cube. Yes, it was in the year when I stitched my first Just Nan cube. My first Just Nan design, so it was 2018, I think. Okay, and I don't like how, first of all, I haven't used it, and I used glue. I don't know what was wrong with me at that time, but I was using bad quality glue. And I want to try to like rip it off here and make a pin keep, a smaller one this time, but nicer one. And they use this pin keep is going to be hanging on my tree. So a hanging ornament, Christmas ornament. I'm not sure about this one, if I'm going to manage to remake it, but I want very deeply, hardly to try at least. And two more designs which have never been, I have never attempted even to finish. This is such an Amy Bishop design, also autumn design. This is my first hardanger ever. With this one, I'm sure that I want to finish it in a bell pull. I think at the time I even bought the necessary things for this bell pull, but I'll check to see if I have them and finish it. And one more design. This time I think it's a Halloween design. This is above the threads shoe. You know that I forgot who is the author, designer of these shoes. There are a lot of them. This one I saw at the Knitting and Stitching show 2 years ago. I liked it very much. I purchased and I stitched it. There was a time when I was thinking like finishing it in bell pull as well. But now I was thinking that probably in a dark gray or even black frame it's not going to look bad. So I'll see. I'll see which one is going to be best for him. For it, not for him. And I'll also try to finish this one as well. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to manage to finish out of this ones this autumn, but it will be great to have as many as possible done. Yes. And this would be everything I wanted to tell you and to show you in today's video. I hope you liked the video. I hope it was interesting for you, and see you in my next videos. Until then, bye bye.